I have to tell you, Orlean and I, a few years ago, happened to have a proxy for the PG&E annual shareholders meeting. And while we were down there sitting in the audience, they were introducing some of the higher-ups in the first few rows. And I heard the name Rothschild. And I elbowed Orlean, and I said, "Did you hear that? Rothschild." So I went back and I did some research. Rothschild is in charge of all of the utilities across the country. Rothschild. And it is a nefarious plan. And we face many, many things. Not only the deployment of the smart meters for causing directed energy weapon attacks in our homes from the frequencies, and all of the dirty electricity that's coming in on our house lines, really literally traveling through the walls, going into under wire bras, wire box spring mattresses, money in your pocket, belt buckles, you name it. We're being irradiated. This is a plan. This is all part of the genocide plan.
So, to measure RF, transmitting from the smart meter, we're using an HF59B from Gigahertz Solutions, and you'll hear when it transmits, all right? So I'm going to just...
You hear like little ticks.
Yeah. You'll hear a distortion, all right? So we're going to attach this to the panel, all right? And now we're going to measure electricity running through the smart meter, all right?
Okay.
Right now the switch isn't thrown. As you can see, there's nothing happening. Yeah. So we're going to turn this on.
Whoa.
All right. So we've got quite a bit of distortion going on. All right.
And that tick, that's the smart. Listen to it.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're going to try to catch it when it transmits.
Yeah. That didn't look like that when we just had the analog going.
Right. So I've had enough of that.
That was a lot of transmissions too in just a small amount of time.
And we're seeing this with the new smart meters.
Yeah, they're more active.
Much more active.
Yeah, not that the other ones were good, but this is worse.
Right. So if your head was on the other side of this panel, which mine was when I first was introduced to the smart meter.
Because your bed was right there.
My bed was on the other side of the panel for the house. So I was absorbing quite a large magnetic field and an electric field, as this will...
In addition to the broadcast microwaves.
Right, and so when this started to transmit, I woke up, and that was at 3:12 in the morning.
Yeah. So I think what we're seeing here, folks, is not just the microwave transmissions that go through the air from the smart meter, but they also, because this is at the entrance of the electricity to your house, the transmission, the frequencies of the transmissions get sent along the wiring as well, and that's what we're seeing here on this Fluke oscilloscope. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't stay in the wiring.
Right.
It actually radiates 6 to 8 feet from the wire. So it's not just coming from the little outlet. If you were to take the wire,
so we're basically living in a big antenna.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. So you can't really escape that. So people that are sleeping in a bedroom with a smart meter connected to it are going to have a higher exposure than somebody that's going to sleep in a room on the other side of the house. They're still going to have an exposure, but not as great as one.
Yeah. And so this would explain why a lot of people who could handle a baby monitor, their cell phone, the Wi-Fi, all that stuff, this is why the smart meter puts those people over the top.
Right.
In terms of illness and discomfort and and what have you.
Correct. Yeah.
All the symptoms that the people can show from this.
Well, the frequencies being transmitted is not just the 900 megahertz that's
the microwave.
That's the microwave effect. But this effect is much greater. It's like no other device in your home. You are absorbing this, and you're absorbing frequencies known to affect the cell membrane. so down into the 10 kilohertz range, 15 kilohertz range, and it's been known for, over 50 years that these particular frequencies and waveforms.
When you say known by who?
By IEEE, so the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, from the
that's a mainstream outfit.
Yeah, the EPRI, Journal of Neurophysiology. They're really excited about using this instead of medication when they do surgery, because they're able to create nerve block by opening potassium channels and calcium and sodium channels just with frequencies. So 10 kilohertz.
So it has some positive use, but in your home all the time, it's maybe not so positive, huh?
Yeah, probably not so much. Anything that can affect you on the biological level is a poison. It's just a matter of dose.
Yeah. So you're getting dosed all the time with one of these.
All the time, yeah. So this is not like your baby monitor. This isn't like your cell phone. This is like no other device you're exposed to, because it's using all the wiring that travels through this panel as an antenna. So it's an energized antenna.
Because it's connected to it.
Correct. It's the largest antenna, and you're exposed to this 24/7 if you're in the house 24/7. So it never cleans up, as you saw. Once you put this thing on, it's a nightmare. Yeah. So what I've done is
we've done a number of takes in this video, and it's always the same.
Right. There are no studies saying that these frequencies that the smart meter is producing on the electrical wiring or on the electrical field that we're absorbing do not have an effect, a biological effect. There are no studies that are saying that. Not one.
So, Paul, you mentioned that these different frequencies radiate out from the wiring to a distance of like 6 to 8 feet. How do you know that?
Well, I've got an electric field meter. This particular one is made in Germany, from Gigahertz Solutions, and we'll turn it on here. And right now it's measuring 11 volts per meter in the air.
In the air?
Right. So it's radiating from the wiring. We'll get close to one and show you how it will go up. So we've got
close to an outlet?
Right, exactly. So.
Wow.
So your head could be
right
next to that outlet.
If you were in bed,
Right. So you're looking at about 44, 45 volts per meter.
Yeah.
Right at this location.
Yeah, good thing I don't sleep there.
Right, correct. But if you're absorbing that and those high frequencies are traveling on that wire, it's going to radiate into your head and into your whole body.
Yeah.
So, that's why we don't want to sleep with the power on in our bedrooms, because there are other things that are creating high frequencies.
Yeah, well, we turn ours off in the bedroom. Yeah. Now, it would seem to me that, many people involved in the smart meter issue are focused on the 900 megahertz frequency, which is the microwave transmission. But none of us knew that there were these other frequencies sort of hidden in that and are being transmitted as well. So if I was a power company, if I was a lawyer, if I was the power company's lawyer, if I was the power company's insurer, I would be very concerned about this. If I was a damaged individual, I would be wanting more information about this, because, in my opinion, this is why people are getting damaged. Why people who previously could handle all their wireless gadgetry, their Wi-Fi, and their cell phone, and then when they get the smart meter in their house, all of a sudden their world falls apart, and the devices that they used to be able to handle, they can no longer handle. And it's just an overexposure of these frequencies. Is that right?
From what I've found, I'm using their equipment, using their studies.
You mean like mainstream stuff?
Mainstream, yeah. They're going to use a Fluke oscilloscope.
Yeah, this is like the best, isn't it, Fluke?
Well, it's up there. It's well respected, in the industry. So I'm going to use their, I'm using their panel. We're using their electricity, their smart meter.
Yeah.
We're just putting a little puzzle together. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks a lot.